fulfilling America's promise will require more than just money. It will require a renewed sense of responsibility. Each of us must do our part to make our homes and businesses more efficient.
Yeah, keep the air in your tires.
Yes.
Keep checking the air in your tires.
More ladders to success for young men who fall into lives of crime and despair.
Like the ladder that you extended to your high school buddy Ray when he fell into a life of crime and despair? Oh, wait, you told him you couldn't help him. What a guy, what a friend.
But we must also admit that programs alone can't replace parents. That government can't turn off the television and make a child do her homework.
So we're going to give everybody a set of parents, because the reason why people fall into crime is because they don't have their parents looking out for them.
Fathers must take more responsibility to provide love and guidance to their children.
Yeah, what if they don't want to take responsibility?
Mutual responsibility.
Oh, man.
Hear that, kids? Mutual responsibility. Everybody's your parent. Like Hillary said, it takes a village. So you have to take care of everybody's kids who don't want to take care of them themselves. Just don't spank them, because, you know, they know they could call 911 on you and have you arrested for child abuse to pedophilia. Just keep on forking out that money. Serve your community.
That's the essence of America's promise.
You're dreaming.
If John McCain wants to have a debate about who has the temperament and judgment to serve as the next commander-in-chief, that's a debate I'm ready to have.
Every time you say something critical of you, it's a racist attack, or it's questioning your patriotism. You can't take any little bit of criticism at all.
Just days after 9/11, I stood up and opposed this war, knowing that it would distract us from the real threats that we face.
You weren't even a senator yet at that time. You have to listen very carefully to what he just said. There's the possibility that he made a mistake, but we're talking Barack Obama here. He looks out over the crowd from left to right all the time. That's because there's a teleprompter on his left and his right. You watching him on television, you're supposed to believe that he is looking at the crowd. He is not looking at the crowd. He's looking at his teleprompters. And he appears to be one of the better teleprompt readers amongst the political ruling class. So, given that fact, it's hard to believe that he made an error in what he just said, which was...
Just days after 9/11, I stood up and opposed this war, knowing that it would distract us from the real threats that we face.
So the days after 9/11 is when we were gearing up to the Afghanistan war. So does he mean to say, actually, that he was against even going into Afghanistan from the get-go? Because in other parts of this speech, he puts the real threats we face, meaning which you are supposed to. He knows you're going to believe he's talking about the war on terror, but he is speaking of
poverty and genocide, climate change, and disease.
You know, the same old recycled Democrat party line gripes that they bring out every 4 years and then don't spend too much time doing anything about whether or not they are ever elected into office. Did he make a mistake in what he was saying, or does he just want you to think something while he means something else? With Barack Obama, you can never tell.
When John McCain said we could just muddle through in Afghanistan.
I'd like to see when John McCain used the words, "we can just muddle through." I'd really like to see you come up with that one.
I argued for more resources and more troops to finish the fight against the terrorists who actually attacked us on 9/11, and made clear that we must take out Osama bin Laden and his lieutenants if we have them in our sights.
How freaking naive, how innocent, man. This guy's gonna run the Department of Defense.
Out of all the terrorists in the world, all the radical Islamic extremists who sometimes work against each other, sometimes work with each other, always work against the United States and at least Israel, we should be worried about Osama bin Laden and just fuck all the rest.
Oh yes, we're gonna put all the military's resources into chasing after one man.
Yeah, that's how we'll win. The thing is, he doesn't want to win. He does not see this as a threat. He wants to handle it like Jimmy Carter handled it and like Bill Clinton handled it, where, some disastrous attack occurs and we try and deal with that.
We're gonna bring him to justice like a common criminal out in the Old West. We're gonna give him a fair trial and all that crap. Whew, man.
Or not even. During Clinton's presidency, you had all kinds of things happen and he never did a damn thing about any of them. Then it led up to 9/11, which we blamed Bush for. We never blamed Clinton. Well, that's the way, that's the shit that's been put in your head by this media who always loved Clinton and always hated Bush. And if you keep on following it, we're gonna lose. If Obama wins, we all lose. You take out the leader, and the next in command steps up, one link higher on the chain of command. Slimy, undisciplined civilians such as Senator Obama do not understand military organization, and a unit such as Al-Qaeda, whenever we get a lieutenant in our sights, we're going to shoot him. But they're not walking around exactly with little bars on their collar. What about the sergeants and corporals and privates? Because there are way more of them than there are lieutenants. Do you understand this?
John McCain likes to say that he'll follow bin Laden to the gates of hell, but he won't even follow him to the cave where he lives.
You see, dear viewer, the word cave, as utilized by our speaker, Senator Obama, is a metaphor for where Osama bin Laden might actually be. Is actually probably, in all probable actuality, living, residing, languishing, where he languishes. Most actually, probably, with probability of his residing, as of his residence actually taking place, locating the cave. Well, I will tell you where Osama is. The utilization by Senator Obama in this diatribe and monotonous soliloquy of his is that the cave actually is. The cave is really a metaphor for the word.
Obama knows where he lives. He's good friends with him.